I'm Landon with Revere. Today we're going to be going over some of the large components on a TAWS trailer. To start out with, we have an adjustable jack at the tongue of the trailer, we have a lunette ring, and we have a ball hitch that can be replaced with the lunette ring to tow behind a standard vehicle. We have a box that houses a 7-pin and a 13-pin trailer lighting harness. We have a tongue toolbox for storage. We have a parking brake. We have our main engine compartment, and we have a engine flush solution tank attached to the front, along with a soap concentrate tank. We have our fuel tank off to the side. At the fuel tank, we have our fuel cap that has a gauge in the top, along with a vent. So before starting the unit, you would want to make sure that this vent is open, and when it's not in use, you would like this vent to be closed. We have our fuel priming bulb that primes the diesel engine, and then we have our fuel send lines here and our fuel return lines here. We have our burner assembly, and attached to the burner assembly we have an engine flush reel that is 3/4 inch, 65 feet of hose, and we have a compressed air reel. This is our engine flush compartment toolbox. We have a 500-gallon holding tank, and we have our spare tire. At the rear of the trailer, we've got our low-flow rinse gun that is capable of 5 gallons a minute. We have our foam hose with a fire bale style attachment. We have a bracket welded to the hose reel frame for detaching the rinse guns. We have a high-flow rinse gun capable of 10 gallons per minute. Attached to the hose reel stand, we have our document canister. We have a 75-foot grounding reel. We have our water fill connection, which is a garden hose fitting. We have our storage toolbox. We have the burner assembly here, and there's a fuel filter located inside, which can be accessed through removing of the hood. And we have our engine compartment. The TAWS trailer has 6 D-rings located around the frame. They can be used to tie the unit down, or they can be used for lifting with a crane or a helicopter. At the control panel, we have our engine flush pump switch, we have our driver's side burner activation switch, and we have our curb side burner activation switch. We have our engine flush sourcing valve that allows us to select between water out of the holding tank and our engine flush solution out of our tank here, and we have our engine flush discharge pressure. Our engine control module has an ignition switch, a tachometer, and a gauge for the hours, along with several indicator lights. The first one indicating a low voltage scenario or battery failure. We have our glow plug light that is indicating when the glow plugs are on. We have a low oil pressure warning light. We have a high engine temperature warning light. Our auxiliary 1 light indicates low water in the holding tank and is designed to prevent the pump from running without water. And auxiliary 2 is not used at this time. In the engine compartment, we have our diesel engine, we have a battery, we have our main electrical panel, we have our engine flush pump, we have our compressed air holding tank, then we have the engine oil filter, we have the air filter, we do have a belt for the serpentine system on the engine, and we have a belt for the air compressor drive located under this lid. We have the gearbox located in between the pump and the diesel engine. We have our main rinse pump located here. We have our compressed air pressure gauge located here. We have the back side of our engine control module here, and mounted to the frame we have the foamer assembly located here. The Kubota engine will run on diesel fuel, which is preferred. However, it will run on aviation fuel if needed. Inside the electrical panel, we have a set of fuses underneath this removable plastic cover, and we have a timer set for the engine flush pump. The engine flush timer is set to 5 minutes, and that is to prevent the engine flush pump from overheating. It is not recommended to run the engine flush pump for longer than 5 minutes. Now let's go over some of the maintenance items in the engine compartment. We have our coolant overflow tank located here. We have a fuel filter that's in line located here. We have a fuel filter located on the side of the engine, and we have a fuel shutoff valve attached to that filter. We have our dipstick to check our engine oil, and in the back we have our cap pump, and the oil sight can be seen from the opposite side of where we're at now. and we have our gearbox, and the oil sight is located next to the cap pump. And we have our fill port for our pressure washer pump located here. Now that the fuel system has been primed and the water system has been primed, and now that we've got full fluid levels in all of our tanks, now that we've checked our oil levels in the engine, the compressor, the gearbox, and the pump, we've checked our coolant level in the engine, we're now ready to go ahead and start the TAWS. So first thing we'll do, turn our ignition switch from the off position back to the run position. You see all the indicator lights illuminate at first, and then just the top three. You'll notice that the glow plug light will turn off after a few seconds. You'll want to make sure that you wait until this light turns off before you start the TAWS trailer. This allows the glow plugs to heat the engine block properly. We're in a good position to start the engine, and we've set our parking brake, so we can go ahead and fire it up.